How's your kid doing? He's doing pretty good?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh,
He's not going to be doing very good if he's eating a pound of metal every day. Today's side quest, the baby food iceberg.
we're going to start off today talking about the iconic Gerber Baby, Ann Turner Cook. Ann Turner Cook was a little girl and was the original Gerber Baby, whose face has appeared on Gerber products for over 90 years. In 1928, a nationwide contest was held by Gerber to find a baby face for their advertising. A charcoal sketch by artist Dorothy Hope Smith won. Cook's image became one of the most recognized corporate logos worldwide, despite not being identified publicly for decades. Could you imagine? They're just like, we need a baby's face for this advertising.
You don't want your kid to be like world recognized and the iconic baby of every like household ever in America?
I would want some sort of financial compensation. Recognition is not enough. That's like when a YouTuber is like, hey, will you edit my videos? And you're like, yeah, how much do you pay? And they're like, I'll shout you out on my channel. Thanks to our editor, David.
The lore is that our editor is locked in a basement and we're trying to find him because you fucked up on the Reddit post in one of our first videos. But yeah, it is me. I'm secretly trapped in a basement. Matt only gets me out of the basement whenever we're ready to film.
I pull him out. He's looking like Igor from like Frankenstein or Quasimodo. He's just like hunched over and he's like, yes, yes.
Can I have a Babe Ruth again? That was amazing.
I guess it was the 1920s, so like photography was like still new-ish. So they were like, that shit's too expensive. We're gonna do a charcoal sketch of this baby and make it look like your baby was kidnapped, and we're putting them on the back of a milk carton. But it worked.
That baby has been the logo forever. I think it still is.
Well, is it? I know recently, could have been 5 years ago. I'm old and time is irrelevant. I think they were doing a search for the new Gerber Baby.
Over the years, many celebrities were falsely rumored to be the Gerber Baby, including Humphrey Bogart, Shirley Temple, and Elizabeth Taylor. The anonymity helped drive intrigue, allowing consumers to project their own child's image onto the logo. Cook, the baby, lived a quiet life as an English teacher and crime novelist. She received a $5,000 settlement from Gerber in 1951, which helped her purchase her first home. Despite her historical significance, she remained humble, only revealing her identity publicly in the late 1970s. While the iconic Gerber Baby remains a symbol of innocence, recent reports have revealed concerning findings about Gerber's products.
Used it to buy her first home, which cost 12 nickels and a bag of flour. Investigations have identified toxic heavy metals in several Gerber Baby foods. These metals pose severe health risks, particularly for infants whose bodies are still developing. Even today? Oh,
What?
I'm reading the list of specific contaminated products. The first one on the list is eats by the bagful. This explains so much about my child. ArrowRoot biscuits, found to contain elevated levels of arsenic, which can lead to cognitive impairment and cancer risk. My son has some things going on because he's insane. I don't even know what the hell ArrowRoot is. Barley single grain cereal contains lead, a known neurotoxin that can cause developmental delays and behavioral issues. Carrot sitter second food and conventional carrots both contained high levels of cadmium and lead, damaging kidneys and bones. Why do you need to put lead in your carrots?
You never had lead chips as a kid? I'm just kidding. I've never.
I mean,
either.
probably.
Sweet potatoes and diced carrots veggies pickup. These also show dangerous amounts of heavy metals, all the metals that were already talked about. Flour, rice, long grain, and multi-grain cereal. Both products were contaminated with arsenic.
I know that arsenic's bad, but in complete honesty, I have no idea what arsenic is. It just is like one of those things where it's like, I hear about it, I've never encountered it, so it's kind of just not real. Like most of my health problems.
Fruit and veggie melts, truly
He doesn't eat
tropical.
those
blend.
ones.
And then you got grape juice white. High levels of lead were found, increasing risks of reduced IQ and behavioral problems.
So the toxic baby food lawsuit. Most recently, June 2025, baby food lawsuits allege several companies knowingly sold and continue to sell products tainted with heavy metals that can cause brain damage, specifically brain damage that manifests as diagnoses of autism spectrum disorder and ADHD. The defendant companies in the baby food lawsuits include Beechnut, Gerber, Hain Celestial Group, or Earth's Best Organic, Nurture, or Happy Family Organics and Happy Baby, Plum Organic, Sprout Foods, Sprout Organic, Walmart, or Parents' Choice. Heavy metal exposure in infants can interfere with brain development, leading to cognitive deficits, kidney and liver damage, anemia, increased cancer risk.
Because this is not an iceberg at all. This is just all the baby food in the world is contaminated on one level.
Yeah.
Just metal, arsenic, poison. Apparently kind of just fear-mongering all you parents and Matt. I'm sorry. So as a guy who has no kid, Matt, I'll tell you exactly what you need to do with your kid.
All right, what should I do?
You need to stay informed about the products, recalls, and reports. Parents out there, please figure that shit out. Limit consumption of foods that have been exposed to a lot of heavy metal contamination, like rice. Rice is exposed a lot. Cereals, root vegetables. Is spinach a root vegetable?
Spinach? No.
No, that's a leafy.
It's a leaf.
Make me more spinach.
Turn him into Popeye.
I'll tell you what. Carrots are bad for your kid. Carrots are good. Don't even listen to me. I don't have a kid.
Carrots aren't good unless they're like lathered in butter and cooked until they're just like sopping wet.
I don't like how you said that. That's so bad. Diversify your child's diet.
We do diversify his diet, but he always wants snacks. And so he does eat a lot of those ArrowRoot biscuits.
Be an advocate for food safety in baby food stuff. So if there's a class action lawsuit, get yourself a little bit of money from that, Matt.
This whole topic, just the entire time, I was just thinking of the X-Men movies from the early 2000s. Did you ever watch those?
How does that remind you of those movies?
So if these foods are pumped full of heavy metals, if you remember in those movies, how did Magneto break out of prison?
He wasn't eating baby food.
No, the officer. He pulled the iron out of the officer's blood and then used it to kill him and then to break out of his little plastic bubble prison.
That is crazy dark. I thought you were going to say like, oh yeah, these children are going to become Wolverine.
Oh.
I'm also going to bleep out your kid's name.
Nah, my identity got stolen this week. Why can't his?
Does he even have an... Well, yeah, he has a... Does he have
got
a social security card?
Yeah, he's got a social security number.
What's his full number?
What's his full number? Tickle the subscribe and your mother-in-law and then press the like button.
Oh my God.
Have a good one.